Hello everyone. This discussion will focus on donor's tax or donor's taxation. Under donor's taxation, we will discuss the basic concepts of donation and what distinguishes it from those transfers of property subject to estate tax. We will also discuss the inclusions in gross gifts as well as the deductions from gross gifts in order to arrive at the net gifts and donor's tax. Let's start with a definition of donation. So, donation is defined as an act of liberality whereby a person disposes gratuitously of a thing or right in favor of another who accepts it. So, from this definition, makikita na natin yung main elements ng isang donation. First is liberality. Kusang binigay ng isang tao yung property niya to another. Walang fraud, walang pagpipilit, as in malaya niyang ibinigay ang kanyang property or right in favor of another. Next, ayan, gratuitously, ibig sabihin libre, walang consideration na kailangang ibigay. And acceptance is also important. So, walang donation kung walang acceptance. Here are a few things to consider. Donation is completed by the delivery of the property transferred as a gift, either actually or constructively. So, completed lang daw yung donation, nangyari lang yung donation kapag yung property na ilipat na talaga or na i-deliver na sa kung kanino yon ibibigay. Kung wala pang delivery, hindi pa completed yung donation. So, you can be either actually given, as in halimbawa, binigay mo yung cellphone mo, or constructively, binigay mo yung titulo ng lupa or nag-fund transfer ka. So, again, donation is completed by delivery. Another, it is perfected from the time the donor knows of the acceptance by the donee. So, kumbaga, kapag meron ng meeting of minds na magkakaroon ng donation. And the donor, while still alive, should know that the donation is accepted. So, in case nag-pass away yung donor, if nalaman niya na accepted na yung donation niya, while he or she was still alive, considered pa rin yun na donation. Next, let's discuss the purposes of donor's tax. Bakit ba tayo nagkaroon ng taxation sa donation? Number one is preventing estate tax avoidance. So, dati kasi wala pang donor's tax, ang meron lang is estate tax. So, ang ginawa ng mga tao para ma-avoid nila yung estate tax, which happens during the transfer of property sa settlement ng estate, ang ginawa nila, sabi nila, para hindi na tayo magbayad sa estate tax, i-transfer na natin yung property habang buhay pa yung may-ari. So, na-discover ng government, edi nabawasan yung income ng government dahil sa loophole na yon sa taxation. Kaya naisip na nila na meron pala dapat donor's tax. Kapag nag-transfer ng property, whether the owner is still alive or hindi, i-tax na natin. Kasi nakita nga ng iba yung loophole sa taxation. Pangalawa, compensating income losses in case large income generating properties are divided by way of donation. So ito din, ang tinutukoy din dito is income losses ng government. May mga company kasi or businesses na ginagawa nila para mabawasan yung income tax due, gumagawa sila ng expenses sa pamamagitan ng pag-donate. So, yung donation, consider nila as expense, and ang nangyari, nabawasan yung kanilang taxable income. So, nakita na naman yun ng government, nabawasan yung income ng government dahil sa practice na yun, kaya tinax na din yung transfer ng properties. So, yun yung pinaka-purpose ng donor's tax para mapunuan yung loophole sa taxation na nag-lead sa pagbawas ng income na nakokollect ng ating government. Okay, so we already know this, the two kinds of donation inter vivos, which happens when the owner is still alive, and mortis causa, yung magiging subject sa estate tax. So here we have an illustration to distinguish situations which will be subject to donor's tax and estate tax. Okay, for our first illustration, on June 1 of the current taxable year, Edmond donated a brand new car to his eldest son on account of his 21st birthday. The eldest son happily accepted the birthday gift. Is the donation subject to donor's tax? So let's recall the three elements ng taxation. So dapat nauna may gratuitous transfer, it is accepted, and it was given liberally. So dito naman may liberty naman si Edmond na i-donate yung car niya. Kasi brand yung car naman, wala namang ibang problem sa car. Meron namang acceptance. Sinabi naman dito, eldest son happily accepted the gift, and wala namang sinabing may kailangang bayaran yung anak niya kasi ayan, gift nga sa birthday. So is the donation subject to donor's tax? Of course, the answer is yes. There is a direct transfer of property without any consideration. So gratuitous yung transfer from the donor to the donee. Moreover, both are still alive or living at the time of transfer. So, importante na living kasi syempre, hindi naman magkakaroon ng acceptance kung patay na yung isang party. Next is the case of Luis. Luis donated his 4-hectare sugarcane farmland valued at 1.5 million to his son. The donation will take effect upon his death. The question is the donation subject to donor's tax? Okay, the answer is no. So, sinabi naman dito, the donation will take effect upon his death. So, this transfer is donatio mortis causa because it takes effect niya upon the death of the donor. Dahil dyan, it will be subject to estate tax instead. Okay, so just like the income taxation and estate taxation, our donors are classified into citizen or resident alien and non-resident alien. If the donor is a citizen or a resident alien, they are subject to donor's tax on gifts made within and outside the Philippines. It is emphasized that the donor should be a citizen of the Philippines or a resident alien at the time of donation. So, ang titingnan lang natin is yung kanilang status at the time of donation. So, either citizen sila or resident. Taxable sila on donations made within and outside the Philippines. So again, ang titingnan natin yung status at the time of donation. And the properties that may be donated can either be real, tangible, personal, and intangible personal properties. So in this case, similar naman yung criteria or requirements with estate taxation. For non-resident aliens naman, a non-resident alien, whether engaged in business or not in the Philippines at the time of donation, is subject to donor's tax on donations made within the Philippines. So again, ang titingnan natin is yung status nila at the time of donation. And just like with the other rules on taxation, taxable lang yung mga non-resident aliens for those donations made within the Philippines. And intangible personal properties donated within the Philippines are subject to the principle of reciprocity. So, kung exempted yung mga Pilipino sa bansa kung saan nagmumula yung non-resident alien, edi exempted din sila dito sa Philippines. Okay? Similar rule din with estate taxation. Okay, let's look at the case of Oscar. Oscar, a resident citizen, donated a vacant commercial lot valued at 1.5 million to his uncle. Is the donation subject to donor's tax? Yes, the donation is subject to donor's tax regardless of the property location because the donor, Oscar, is a resident citizen. Next, Joseph, a Filipino residing in Australia, donated a car valued at 1.2 million to his uncle residing in Singapore. Is the donation subject to donor's tax? So, ang alam natin kapag citizen or resident, taxable sila for donations made within and without the Philippines. So, ang titingnan natin is the donor. So, in this case, si Joseph is a Filipino residing in Australia. So, siya ay isang citizen. Okay? So, the answer is yes. At the time of donation, Joseph carries Filipino citizenship although he was residing outside the Philippines at the time of donation. Pero, citizen pa rin naman siya. The residence or the citizenship of the donee is not a factor in determining whether the donation is subject to donor's tax or not. So again, ang titingnan natin is yung status nung donor. Okay, next. Mac Jabi, a Filipino resident Canadian, donated his shares of stock issued by a foreign corporation to his younger sister residing in Canada. So, si Mac Jabi is Canadian na Filipino resident. So, again, nabanggit naman siya ay Filipino. So, the donation is subject to donor's tax. Yan, siya ay resident alien. Okay, so to summarize the rules on taxability of residents, citizens, and non-resident aliens, here's a table summarizing kung taxable ba sila or hindi for properties or donations made within and without the Philippines. So makikita natin kapag resident citizen, non-resident citizen, resident alien, taxable sila for donations within and without the Philippines, whether real, tangible, or intangible. For non-resident aliens without reciprocity, okay ang rule, yan, taxable sila for transfers made within the Philippines only. For those non-resident aliens with reciprocity, taxable sila for donations of real property and tangible personal property within the Philippines only. And since merong reciprocity, hindi taxable yung kanilang donations of intangible personal property. So, tandaan lang natin na yung rules on reciprocity, applicable lang siya sa transfers of intangible personal property. Okay, so sabi natin kanina, donations can either be made actually or constructively. So here are other forms or constructive donations. Number one, cancellation of debts. So kapag sinabi mong wag nang bayaran yung utang sa'yo, that is a form of donation. And also transfers for insufficient consideration. Binenta mo, ay pinabayaran mo yung property way below market value. That's considered a donation because it is a transfer for insufficient consideration. Okay, let's recall the elements of donation. So number one, it should be transferred gratuitously or without consideration, or pwede din, sabi nga kanina, transfers for insufficient consideration. And the period and object of donation should be specifically identified. Alam natin kung ano yung tina-transfer or dinodonate na property and yung period para malaman natin kung yun ay donation inter vivos or mortis causa. Next, of course, there should be delivery actually or constructively, and the donation should be accepted. So there is no donation if there is no acceptance. Okay, here's an illustration showing what should be the proper form of donation. So, ang property na pwedeng i-donate is kapag personal property, Kapag ang value niya is 5,000 or less, it may be made orally or in writing. Kapag more than 5,000, it should be in writing. And for real property, regardless of amount, it of course should be in a public document. Kasi real property, mga bahay at lupa, syempre kailangan ma-annotate dun sa original document na meron ng bagong may-ari. Kaya lagi dapat yan na public document. Okay? So, tandaan lang natin yung mga rules na ito. So, there are donations na exempted from donor's tax. Okay, o if a citizen or resident alien nag-donate siya sa government and its agencies, educational and or charitable religious institutions, and this specific organizations, yun po ay exempted sa donor's tax. Ayan. So, when it comes to donation, merong mga specific entities na, ay, ano lang, na exempted sa donor's tax. Of course, again, for educational and charitable religious institutions, applicable pa din yung 30% rule na yung 30% shall be used for administration purposes, not more than 30%. And of course, for government and its agencies, for public purposes. Ayan. So, similar lang naman yung mga rules na ito kahit sa ibang taxes, except dito sa donations, specifically identified lang kung saan na saang donation exempted. If the donations are made by a non-resident alien, for if nag-donate sila sa government and its agencies, ang rule, yan, dapat hindi gagamitin for profit. Kapag educational and or charitable religious institutions, same din po, not more than 30% of said gifts shall be used for administration purposes. Okay? It should be emphasized that the above donations form part of the gross gifts and are included as part of the allowable deductions. So, yung term na exempted, hindi ibig sabihin na hindi na natin ipepresent. Dapat ipepresent pa rin siya as gross gift and deduction. So, ang effect nun, wala namang binayaran na donor's tax. Okay, let's now talk about special cases, such as when the donee is engaged in business and donation between married individuals. Okay, paano daw kung nag-donate ka sa isang tao na engaged in business? Okay, sabi daw, notice of donation for every donation worth at least 50,000 to the Revenue District Office, which has jurisdiction over his or her place of business within 30 days after receipt of the qualified donee institution's duly issued certificate of donation. So kapag nakakatanggap kasi ng donation, merong certificate of donation dapat na ibibigay. And kung ang donee ay engaged in business, dapat i-report niya yon sa BIR within 30 days. Ang rule, for every donation worth at least 50,000 pesos. For donations of married individuals, the properties of the spouses may be classified as exclusive or conjugal. And the law prohibits the transfer of conjugal properties by any spouse without the consent of the other. Napag-usapan na din naman natin yon during the property relationship of spouses. So, syempre, kailangan ipaalam mo sa spouse mo since yun ay conjugal property. If conjugal properties are donated, it will appear that there are two donations, that of the husband and that of the wife. So, dalawa ang donor kapag married individuals ang nag-donate. Okay, let's look at the case of George, single and a Filipino citizen residing in Singapore. Ito daw yung kanyang mga properties na dinonate niya sa kanyang pamangkin. Okay? So a car acquired 3 years ago, cost or fair market value at the time of acquisition is 800,000 and fair market value at the time of donation 400,000. A 2-hectare farmland acquisition cost 600,000 and fair market value at the time of donation 1 million. So magkano ba? Alin ba yung amount na pipiliin natin when computing for the gross gift? Ayan, of course, ang gagamitin natin is yung fair market value at the time of donation. We now have Mr. and Mrs. Abdik, Filipino citizens, donated the following properties to their eldest son. A three-door apartment, conjugal property, 5 million pesos. A car, exclusive property of the husband, 600,000 pesos. And pieces of jewelry, exclusive property of the wife, 300,000 pesos. The question is, which gross gifts are subject to donor's tax? Sabi natin kanina kapag married individuals ang nag-donate, meron dalawang donation, that of the husband and that of the wife. So, example natin dito is yung three-door apartment nila na conjugal property. Kaya makikita natin, hinati sa dalawa yung 5 million. So, may tig 2.5 million si Mr. Abdik and Mrs. Abdik. And idadagdag na doon yung kanilang mga exclusive property na dinonate. So, Mr. Abdik, meron siyang gross gift na 3.1 million and Mrs. Abdik is 2.8 million. Okay, here are the guidelines when it comes to valuation of gifts. If the donated property is a personal property, its value it should be the fair market value at the time of donation. If real property, we should compare the BIR zonal value or fair market value from the assessor. Of course, pipiliin natin whichever is higher. For shares of stock, quoted price listed on the stock exchange. And if cash, yung local currency face value, and pag foreign currency, of course, yung prevailing exchange rate. For net taxable gift, yung imumultiply natin ng 6%, it is computed as the difference between the gross gifts and the allowable deductions. And the computation of donor's tax is on a cumulative basis over a period of 1 calendar year. So kung halimbawa ilang beses ka nagdo-donate sa isang taon, first donation mo, magfa-file ka ng donor's tax if more than 250,000. Second donation mo, idadagdag mo yung first donation and ibabawas mo naman na yung dati mong nabayaran. So, cumulative basis siya. Ayan. So, here's the computation or the format for the computation of net gift. So, okay. So, in this case, first donation in the calendar year computed as gross taxable gifts less allowable deductions. Subsequent donation, ayan, gross taxable gifts. Ito na yung total na including yung first donation, less allowable deduction to arrive at net taxable gifts made on such date and ibabawas na natin doon yung prior net taxable gifts para makuha ang total net taxable gifts. Okay, so that's all for the donation donor's tax. To understand it completely, make sure to practice answering questions. Okay, and expose yourself to different problems and scenarios. Thank you.